What's going on, y'all? Peter Griffin here. Alright, so the live stream for WUWA 3.3 has ended, and all honesty, this live stream was fine in my opinion. I do think it could have been better. Well, honestly, I do think the patch could have been better, but it's just, I don't even know what to say. I'm just disappointed in it. Now, as a patch, I actually do think the patch is solid, but as an anniversary patch, I do think it is very disappointing and it could have been a lot better. But I want to save that topic for another video. But anyway, today, I'm going to be covering all the new content that was shown within those live streams for WUWA 3.3. So without a doubt, let's get into it. So the first thing that they showed off is Hiyuki, and her animations to this day actually still shock me. And one thing I also want to go through is her convene animation, because her convene animation, like, look at this, hold up. Like, this is tough. Like, this convene animation, I think it's easily the best one in the game. Like, this one is just so cool, man. Like, look at it. But anyway, so Hiyuki, she's a Glacio 5-star sword character, which makes sense. But one thing that did surprise me, not really surprise me, but one thing that I was expecting, and I'm glad that Crow Games did this, was they actually made her a Glacio Chafe character. And I know a lot of people weren't really suspecting that from what I saw before, like, she actually got revealed. But it makes the most sense that she's a Glacio Chafe character because she's the first new Glacio character in over a year. And they also reworked the Elemental debuff system so that all the other elemental debuffs are actually like worth something now. So I think the fact that if Hiyuki wasn't going to be a Glacio Chafe character after being the first new Glacio character in after a year would have been a fumble and would have been honestly pretty stupid in my opinion. So I think her being a Glacio Chafe character makes complete sense, and I think it's very cool in my opinion. Another good thing about her being a Glacio Chafe character, she also gives Chisa more value, which I am very glad for. Anything that makes Chisa have more value, I'm all for. So Hiyuki, she definitely looks very cool. I'm definitely still going to go for it. My thoughts on her haven't really changed. I'm still glad that she's going to be using Glacier Shape, so I do want to see how she's going to play out, though. But her weapon, though, let me show you her weapon, because her weapon looks very cool. Like, I need to see this. Like, y'all need to see this. Oh, my God. Like, look at this weapon. Like, bro. This weapon looks so cool, man. And also, it's got a little convenient animation, too. Like, look at this. Look at this. Like, bro. Oh, my God. This weapon's so cool. Oh my god, like I'm definitely gonna go for her weapon now. At first I was considering about going for her and her weapon. No, not for her, but for her weapon. But after seeing this design, easy pull. I'm not even gonna lie, this is an easy must pull. So Hiyuki, I'm definitely still going for her. My thoughts on that hasn't changed. But I'm also gonna go for her weapon now. So I have enough. Hopefully I don't get unlucky and I actually win my 50-50 and I get her weapon early. So hopefully I can do that without spending too much. Now, for Denya, I actually do like Denya's design. I know a lot of people like Hiyuki more than Denya, but I'm probably in the minority when I say this, but I actually prefer Denya over Hiyuki. And that is mainly because of just her alter ego, or like her dark persona right here, because her dark persona honestly looks very cool in my opinion. That's easily my favorite part about her. Like, the design for it, this shit is so tough, man. Like, look at this. This is cool. Not only that, it's a little bit of bias because she has pink hair, and I'm a little bit biased towards pink hair characters, so obviously I gotta go for her. So she was never gonna get skipped by me before, but yeah, just her dark form, man, it just looks it looks so cool. Like, look at this. This is stuff. And also some of the new moves that she has as well also looks amazing as well. So her animation still looks the same, but some new moves that we haven't seen, like this looks pretty cool. Like, look at this. Oh my god, that is amazing. So Denya, I'm definitely going to go for it. They didn't say the specifics of what her kit's going to play like, but she's most likely going to be the Fusion Burst sub DPS that a lot of people have been theorizing on, because she is a fusion character, and the fact that Ameth hasn't really had her Fusion Burst sub DPS is still like kind of crazy. So I am suspecting that Denya will be that Fusion Burst sub DPS, so I am very glad that we're finally getting it. And her weapon too, I actually do like her weapon too. Her weapon looks very cool. And her weapon also has a convenient animation in it as well. Like, look at this. Like, damn, like the convenient animation. It's not as good as Hiyuki's, but the convenient animation's still pretty cool. And her weapon actually looks pretty tough as well. Like, look at this. Especially that black hole right there. Oh my god, like, it's so peak, man. Like, look at this. So Hiyuki and Denya, I'm definitely going to go for both, but I'm definitely not going to skip Denya. If I don't get Hiyuki or her weapon, I'm fine with, but Denya, I am without a doubt not skipping her. And then another thing that they did show, before I show some of the other stuff, I'm going to also cover the banners real quick, because the banners are the banners are very disappointing, because they didn't bring back the rerun banners that they did last year, because as you can see, we have Hiyuki. For phase 1, we have Hiyuki, Mornier, and Yuno. And then after that, no rerun banners. As you can see, they didn't do the rerun banners that they did last year, where they brought back all the 1.x characters. I don't know why they didn't bring it back this year, because that was such a good banner idea just to allow everyone to get all the 1.x or 2.x characters that they wanted. Like, I think they could have easily done that format that they did last year, except bring back all the 2.x characters that were released, like Carlotta, Augusta, Grant, Galbrina. They could have brought back all the older characters like that, but for some reason they did it, which is very stupid in my opinion, and just easily the worst part of the anniversary in my opinion. But anyway, so for phase 2 we have Denya, Chisa, and Frolova, which is surprising because I'm surprised about Frolova because she's been rerun like 2 or 3 times already, and it's just like, why? Just why? Like, why do they rerun her so much? I just don't get it. I don't see the hype around her. I just think her being rerun is just kind of a wasted slot in my opinion. Like, this could have been anybody else, but it is what it is. And their weapons are also being rerun as well. So overall, the banners, very disappointing. I don't think they're bad per se, but they could have been significantly better if they just brought back the rerun banners that they had in the first anniversary. That's the only downside to the banners. But overall, the banners just look fine. They're not anything crazy, but no rerun banners is definitely the worst part. That's all I'm gonna say. Now, for the new stuff that they added, they're actually upgrading the bike, and for the bike upgrade, it's actually pretty cool in my opinion, because with the bike, you're actually gonna be able to fly. Like, look at this, see? You're going to be able to fly with the bike, and honestly, I am very glad for this because driving around in the bike is fun, but I do think it could have benefited from flying because sometimes driving in this game on the bike can feel kind of janky and a little bit hellish. So I'm glad they're adding flying because it just makes driving just a whole lot easier. Well, not easier, just a lot more streamlined and just a lot more less annoying to deal with, because I can't wait to try this because this looks honestly very cool in my opinion. And honestly, it would be very easier to navigate through flying. So overall, the new flying feature for the bike, I think is very cool, and I think they could have added it first, like back when the bike first got added. So I'm not sure why they didn't do it, but overall, I'm glad they're adding it. So this feature, I'm pretty cool with. Now, for the quality of life that they're adding, they didn't add too much of it, but they only added a little bit. Like, for example, for some of the quality of life that they added, they're adding convenient animations, but only for specific weapons. As you can see with Denya and Hiyuki's weapon, they're only going to add those as of right now, but going forward, it's most likely going to be that they're going to be adding it for all future 5 stars going forward. I don't think they will do it for the older characters. I could see them doing it for the newer characters, but for the older characters, I doubt they do it. But I still think it's a pretty nice animation to see because these animations look pretty cool. So I'm glad they're doing it, but I don't think they were necessary, but they're still a cool, like, little detail to have. So these are nice. Next up, they're also changing the UI, as you can see right here. This new UI actually looks pretty cool in my opinion. I love it. It definitely looks better. It looks significantly better than the current one that we have right now. But anyway, what they're doing right now as well, what they're also adding is a way for you to switch character modes from the team select screen. Because as you can see right here, with Amet, you can either pick her Fusion Burst mode or her Toon Strain mode, without having to go into the skill tree and doing it from there. So I do think this feature right here, where you can just quickly do it from the party select member screen, is easily amazing. It's very cool to see, and it honestly saves time. You can do it for Lene as well, which is also pretty cool. So this feature right here, I'm very glad for. I do think this was needed a lot earlier, but I'm glad that they're adding it now. Now, for more for the UI update, the UI, it looks, I need to show y'all some of it. Like, it looks pretty cool. Like, the font too looks amazing. Oh my god, like, look at this. The background, I don't know if they changed the background, but the background looks different for me. The background looks a little bit different, but either way, it looks amazing. But the font, man, the font and the layout, it just looks so good. Like, look at this. This is amazing, man. Like, look at this. It looks so clean. And then for the backpack screen as well, oh my god, like, look at this. For the daily screen, it looks so good. Like, look at this screen. It's all just like, it just looks, it has me speechless. Like, this is so cool. It's so good. It looks amazing, man. So this, I was not expecting this right here, a new UI overhaul, but I am very glad for it. I do think Kuro cooked with this one. So UI overall, definitely looks amazing. And that's just about it for a lot of the quality of life optimizations. The other ones are just mobile optimizations, which I'm not going to really cover because, let's be real, who's really playing Wuthering Waves on mobile? That the mobile can barely even handle the game, so I'm not going to bother covering it. But now I want to move on to the events because they did drop a decent amount of events this patch, but for an anniversary patch, there could have been a lot more, but I don't think the rewards for this patch are bad. I just want to preface that. The rewards for this patch are actually very good. They could have been a little bit better, but for what we got, this is completely fine. So, in terms of free pulls, we have 20 free pulls right here from when the patch drops and for when the day of the anniversary actually comes. So that's 20 pulls right here. We get from the login, we get a free 5 regular pull and a free 5 standard pull. So that's 25 pulls right there. In the anniversary celebration events, as you can see, we get 10 free standard pulls and 10 free weapon pulls, which is already amazing right here. These 10 free weapon pulls, this is just, oh my god, amazing right here. It's pretty astounding. And what they're bringing back as well is the night, not the, was it the night market? I forgot what it's called, but I think it's called the Gilded Night Market or whatever it was called, where after you summon, you would get points, and you could use those points to buy pulls, echo skins, and all those other accessories. They're bringing it back, which I'm very glad for, because this feature right here is pretty cool, where you just spend and then you get more pulls. It was a pretty nice feature. I know a lot of people didn't like this feature, which is crazy to me, because this feature is just not bad in the slightest. I don't really see how it's that bad. And even then, even if you don't summon, you're not really missing out on much pulls. Like, it's still, like, not the worst. So if you don't summon and you miss out on this, you're not really missing anything. But it's still a pretty cool feature to have. So I don't really know why people are mad about this one coming back. But overall, this feature right here, very glad it's coming back, because it was much needed. And next up is just some other, oh wait, I forgot to mention, they're dropping a Mornier skin, which actually doesn't look bad. The Mornier skin actually looks pretty decent in my opinion. Now, I'm surprised Mornier of all characters got a skin, but I do think it's kind of just like fine, it's whatever. Like, see, it doesn't look bad, but do I think Mornier deserves the skin? No, it could have gone to like another character, like maybe Lene or Amet. So overall, I think it's fine. Now, for the events, they are dropping another QB event, which this one right here is essentially just a login QB Derby event where you log in and you just roll the dice on that board game. This is pretty much what this mode is. It's really nothing crazy. 300 Astrite, nothing crazy. And then this one actually caught me off guard. They're bringing back Depths of Elusive Realm, which I am so glad for, because this mode has not been touched in a long time, and this mode was really fun. And I'm glad that Crow Games is actually bringing it back, because this mode was so fun, and I want to see more of it. And I'm honestly surprised that this game mode just hasn't become a permanent endgame mode, which I would love to see. This mode become permanent, it would be so amazing. And then this event right here, I don't know why the music turned on. Anyway, so this event right here, this is essentially the main anniversary event, which it's not bad. It doesn't look bad, I will give it that, but the rewards, these rewards are amazing. Like, you get an Echo skin, which is cool, a title, which isn't too bad, but 1.2k Astrite, Echo modifiers, and premium tuners. Now that's what I'm talking about. These are rewards I hear. These are good rewards. These are some very good rewards. But the only problem that I have with that event is that the gameplay for it is kind of just, it's whatever. Like, as you can see, it's just a pinball event, which is kind of like, why? I don't know why Crow Games decided to make a pinball event. I was kind of hoping it would be very similar to the Cubic QB and I forgot what it's called, the Cubic QB and whatever game mode, whatever that event was. It should have just been that with something similar to that, because that event, it was really fun. I don't know, a lot of people didn't like that mode as well, which was crazy, because that mode was very fun. I will admit that mode did get a little bit annoying at times, how the end levels were just very annoying. So I don't know if that's the only part I didn't like about it, but I know a lot of people didn't like the mode overall, which is crazy. So I do think the Cubic and QB mode should have came back, or something similar to it should have came back instead of this, because I'm not gonna lie, this looks very boring. Like, I'm gonna do it because I want that Astrite and those other rewards, but this just looks boring. And honestly, it looks like a ZZZ event. Like, that's how you know it's bad. If I have to mention that it looks like a ZZZ event, that's how you know that it's in the trenches. Like, the rewards are nice, so that's the only good part of it. The rewards are just good. That's really it. And this one caught me off guard too, but they're having more collabs. Yes, you heard me. Wuthering Waves is actually having more collabs, but not in the way you think. Very similar to the Persona and Sonic event, they're having more bike skins, which in my opinion, I think it's kind of disappointing. Like, when I saw that they were doing more collabs in Livestream, I thought it would be something else, not bike skins. I obviously wasn't expecting characters, but I was expecting maybe some, I don't know, maybe some titles, maybe some profile banners, but it's really just bike skins. And granted, the art on these don't look bad, but the fact that they're just bike skins is kind of just like, really? Like, really, bro? But the art on these does look pretty cool. So, like, this Resident Evil one, I'm definitely gonna go for this one. This one looks amazing. It looks peak, man. like Ada and Leon. Oh my god, that is so tough, man. Also, some of these IPs are just random as hell for me. Like Kaiju number 8, I could see it. Resident Evil, I could definitely see, but Angry Birds is like, huh? There's also some other events they included as well, like Pragmata, I could see. Riders Republic, I don't know why. I don't even know what this is. And then they added Haikyuu, which is like, really? Haikyuu? Like, you could have done the better sports anime, aka Blue Lock, but, I mean, it is what it is, but Haikyuu, really? Come on, bro. Should have done Blue Lock. Should have done the better sports anime. And the final thing that they are adding for characters is that they're adding some accessories to characters, which they don't look bad, but I think these are kind of just pointless a little bit because they don't really change much about the character. Like, they look nice. I don't really see a point to just having them in the game. Like, they just look nice, but they don't drastically change the characters, and they just look okay. So I'm kind of just like, why are these in the game, in my opinion? So they look nice, but do we need them? No, I think the game could have gone fine without adding them. And then next up, they're adding just some other bike skins they have to pay for, which I don't really care. Like, these look cool, especially this Hiyuki one. This one looks cold. Like, oh my god, the colors on these look amazing. But I'm not buying these. These are not worth the money in my opinion. And that's really it. So overall, the patch itself, again, as I said earlier, it doesn't look bad. As an anniversary patch, it's very disappointing. But as a regular patch, I do think it's very solid. It has a lot of content, a lot of rewards. The rewards, I don't care what anyone says, the rewards for this patch, very good. And it's honestly the most we've had in a Wuthering Waves patch. So these rewards, I'm not complaining. Yeah, I'm honestly content with these. I know there were some people who were expecting like a free 5-star selector or a free 5-star standard selector, which is kind of crazy in my opinion. Like, the standard selector, I think is crazy because, in my opinion, I think a standard selector is pretty useless because all the standard characters besides Verena have been power crept, so I don't really see a reason in giving those out when most people are just gonna pick Verena. So and everyone already has, well, not everyone, most people already have Verena, so I think just pulling another copy of her would just kind of be like, why? So I'm fine without a standard 5-star selector. A standard weapon selector, I also do think it's pointless, which might sound like a hot take, but the reason I say it's pointless is because with the amount of standard pulls that this game gives, you can actually get the standard weapons very easily. And not only that, since there's no 50-50 on the weapon pulls, you just save up your standard weapon pulls. You'll get whichever standard 5-star weapon you want. So I do think not having a standard 5-star weapon selector isn't the biggest deal. I'm fine with it. But one part that I do think people were crazy for was a 5-star unit selector. Now, I don't think it was out of the realm of possibility if it was like the 1.x characters, which would have been fine. But at the same time, it's also just kind of like, why? Like, why would they do that? Because, like, Kuro Games has been very generous for Wuthering Waves, but I don't think they would be that generous as to give a free 1.x character, in my opinion. So, this anniversary not having a free weapon selector or free standard selector or a free 1.x character, completely fine. I know a lot of people are going to think I'm crazy for saying that, but it makes sense in my opinion because Kuro doesn't really have a reason to do that, and it would just be kind of counterintuitive to the game because a lot of those characters are power crept. Like, let's be so for real. Those characters are power crept. Like, let's be honest. Besides Storekeeper, everyone else is just like okay at best. So I do think them giving a free 1.x character selector would just be pointless because since those characters are power crept, they're not very good. So if you pull them, what are you going to do with them? Nothing, because they're not going to perform well in a lot of endgame modes. So those characters would have just sat on your account doing nothing. So I don't think this patch having a free 5-star selector isn't the end of the world. I think it's completely fine. But overall, this patch is solid. I do think it's good. It has a lot of content. Rewards are very good, but as an anniversary patch, very disappointing. But I do want to make a separate video going into detail as to why I don't think this is a good anniversary patch. But anyway, let me know what you guys think of Wuthering Waves 3.3 so far. Are you guys excited for the patch or are you guys disappointed in it? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit that bell for when I do upload a new video. And I'll catch you in the next one.